pretty excited because obviously I'm a huge basketball nerd. We have our first, not only like just any basketball player, but an LA Laker, which is probably making Matt very happy. Austin Reaves, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for coming on, man.
Come on, Matt. You can tell me you're a big Laker. Go ahead.
Well, no, I would say we had Charles Barkley on very early in the show, which
Barkley
was awesome.
don't count. He's not active.
But Barkley doesn't count because I got my Lakers on now. I'm born and raised. I know you're a big Kobe fan. I grew up in Orange County, but I've been a diehard Laker fan since the Showtime Lakers. I actually, JJ's a buddy of mine. Me and JJ go way back. We came out the same year of college. So when he came out of Duke the same year I came out of USC, I had some great JJ stories, but I will not say it on the pod. But you ask him. You ask him tomorrow when you see him. I heard you had a couple nights out with Leinart back in the day.
I definitely will.
I'm telling you, it'll be hilarious.
How hold it he gives him?
Oh, dude, he'll turn red. He'll be like, dude, no, we're not talking about that. So, but thanks for coming on, man. How's it going?
No doubt. Appreciate y'all for having me. Everything's good. Like I said, I got a little round in after practice today, so life can't be any better.
I'm gonna ask a pretty random question off the gate because I'm a pretty big golf fan myself, right? Do you get in season to play on the road? And if you do, how are you transporting the sticks? Does that fall into the equipment manager's purview? Like, where are your clubs? Because the clubs are like that's the most important thing while traveling.
Yeah, for sure. I just take them to the plane. They put them under the plane, and they take them to. So when we get to the hotel, they give us like a ballroom for the food and sleep and stuff. They just take them in there, and if I want to go, I go get them and put them back, and they'll put them back under the plane. So our equipment people make it very, very easy for me to play a little bit.
You the only one?
I was gonna say, who do you golf with on the road on the team?
Well, JJ's
he's a stick.
He's not the bug right now. But before D'Lo got traded, he was the one I played with most. We played, probably over 100 rounds together in the last, year or so.
Jeez.
LA's got some amazing golf. When I wasn't doing like tons of research because I know a lot about your career, but when I was like looking you up and stuff like that, I'm like Newark for a minute there. I'm like, wait a minute, he's from Jersey? I'm like, oh no, that's Newark, Arkansas. So, you go from there to LA. I'm sure the golf courses probably helped transition you as golf everywhere. But what is that like going from where you grew up and the next thing you know, you're playing for your favorite team in LA? That just must have been surreal.
Yeah, it was crazy. The night of the draft when we got the call and they were like, we'll take you on a two-way. It was almost a no-brainer for me, because you said I was a huge Kobe fan, so therefore I was a Laker fan. And, just having the opportunity to, play for the team I grew up watching the most, was special. And like you said, obviously the golf year round definitely helped the transition. There's a lot of things I love about LA. There's a couple things I don't. One being traffic. Traffic is horrible, but like I said, when I'm able to golf year round, you can't beat that. But my transition's been very easy. I don't do much. I play a lot of golf, play video games. I don't really go out much, so there isn't much difference. Made about 3 places: my house, the gym, or the golf course, and that's it.
What when you got to LA, obviously it's a big difference from where you grew up. Was there, outside of traffic, because I think everybody kind of understands that when you get there, like, man, this traffic is no joke. It takes you live, 15 minutes, 20 minutes from the arena. It takes you an hour. Was there anything that shocked you when you made the move out to LA, or surprised you about the city?
Honestly, what surprised me the most is how much I enjoyed it, or how much I really liked it. I'd never been to LA before. Literally the day after the draft when I came out here, I didn't know what to think when I was on the plane ride here. If you'd asked me 10 days before that, like if I wanted to be in LA, I probably would have been like, I don't know. Like I've heard a lot of, not so good things about LA, but ever since I've been here, especially with the basketball side of it, the fans have welcomed me with open arms and treated me, really good since day one. So like I said, my transition was really good, and it kind of surprised me how much I enjoyed it.
Did you have your welcome to the NBA moment? Matt has a great like welcome to the NFL moment. I'm not an athlete. For acting, there's no real like welcome to, maybe there's a welcome to Hollywood. You go to the wrong party, but there's no welcome to acting. Did you have like holy I'm in the NBA right now. Like this is happening.
I think I was actually telling a story a couple days ago. There's only been one time in the whole life of playing basketball where I was like, I don't know if I belong. Like, I don't know if I should be on the court
Imposter
right now.
syndrome for a second. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is I wasn't even on the court. I was on the sideline. So it was my rookie year in training camp. And LeBron came down and like snaked the ball screen or something and shot like a hook shot over DeAndre Jordan from like the elbow. And they banked in, and I was just sitting there like, I don't know if I belong to I belong with the court right now.
That's not in your bag. You don't got that in your bag,
Dude. You got a filthy bag, dude. You got a nice
don't
bag.
got that though. That was the one time I was like, but then I quickly realized that was LeBron, and not many people can do what he did. So, that was the one time I was like, what the like. I couldn't believe it because he shot it over a 7'2" guy. The touch was insane. He was going full speed. By the time the ball went in the goal, he was like in the deep corner. So I was like, wow, I don't know if I belong here.
I was telling Jerry, my rookie year, I played Monday Night Football against the Bears, and you're obviously a lot younger, but it was 2006, and I was looking across, and it was Brian Urlacher was a middle linebacker, and that was the year they ended up going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And it was like, I'm walking up and like, when you play as an athlete, you're in a zone. You don't really think about much other than like for me to play and all this. But I'm like, I looked and I kind of made eye contact with him, and I'm like, oh, and Brian Urlacher's like almost 6'5". Like he's a big, and by the way, he's an absolute stick on the golf course as well. And I was like, holy shit, like this Monday Night Football, and I made it. And then the following year is my second year. We went up to Baltimore and played Ray Lewis and Ed Reed when they were rolling in that era.
That's scary.
That was the first time I was on the field where I was actually like I hope I don't get hit by somebody in this game. Like that, like it was never really thought about. That was it. You said, is there someone? I'm a basketball nerd too. I love basketball. And is there someone you're running on the court? Kyrie had a play like not too long ago where he kind of like crossed over, like the ball went off his forehead. I think he had a little lefty floater, and I think they panned to Anthony Edwards, and he was just like, holy. Is there like someone on the court where you're always just like, I can't believe that dude can do that with the basketball?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. I think the way Steph shoots the ball is, obviously he's the greatest shooter ever, but Christmas Day, he made a shot in the right corner. I think we were up probably like 5 at the time or something, and he made a shot in the right corner over LeBron, where it didn't even look like he didn't really have the ball in the right shot pocket. Like he didn't really have it in his hands right. And so I was on the opposite block boxing out when he shot it. And I'm looking at it like kind of through the goal. And the whole time it didn't look good coming off his hand. It didn't look like it was gonna go in when it got closer to the rim. And gets to the rim and like hits the front of the rim and kind of just rolls in. And we all like in that moment, I think there was a timeout afterwards. We all were like, what the like that's not real, like real people don't do that. Like he's a different breed. So Kyrie's another one. And then like KD is, his length, size, the way he can dribble, pass, shoot. Like there's a handful, probably 5 to 10 guys in the league that are, on that different level.
Just different, right? Just a different level. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Durant's one of those players. I always think like it's so fun when players come from college and they go into the draft and they grow from 6'7". Oh, he's actually 6'9". And Durant, at least in the media, was always one of those dudes like, he's 6'9", he's 6'10". I'm like, how tall is this dude? Like, really? By the end of these 7 feet.
Right? Yeah.
I went to Cavs Suns a couple of days ago, and I'm like, I feel like if you cut Jared Allen's hair a little bit, he's like Jared Allen's size. I guess he is. You don't realize it. How many times have people mentioned to you, you got memed, you have that famous you and LeBron I don't know how often that's come up in your career with your boys or whatever. I have a few theories of what you guys are talking about. You don't have to say, but your reaction was like one of two things. It's either like, I have no idea what you just said, or you're like, I can't do that.
So I actually make that face quite a bit. It's just-
Right, but he did so much and you did so little.
So me and my brother actually do that a lot.
That's
And
amazing.
just happened that the camera caught me in that moment as he was doing that. So I'll give you all the little story. So we're in Brooklyn, we're playing the Nets, and I think we're up probably like 15-16, and it's like 2 minutes left. So this is my rookie year. Frank calls a timeout, or so they call a timeout. We're running an ATO, and he's drawing up a play on the board. Well, we're winning by like 17, 2 minutes left, like game's over. So me being the good rookie I was at the time, like I was locked into the play.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody else was. So I was like I asked a lot of questions, especially like my rookie year, because I didn't want to be the guy that messed up. So I was always like, I'm doing this or I'm doing this, right? So I asked Frank going out, I was like, I'm doing this. And he was like, yeah. So I don't know if there was like a little dead period of time where there was still some time like coming off the clock before we could inbound it. So I just asked Brian again. I was like, I'm doing this, right? I'm pretty sure he got mine and Russ's spot mixed up because I wasn't supposed to do anything at the plate, which makes sense because my rookie year, I never did anything to the plays. I just stood in the corner and played defense. So I think he had me in Russ's spot, so he was sitting there like doing all this.
Giving you that looked like a lot of Russ stuff that he was doing with his hands. Like,
Well, I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they just caught me at the right time, and I didn't even know, like, in the moment, I didn't even know anything about it. And then I got to my locker, and my phone just wouldn't stop buzzing. Like, my coach just took it, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm trying to shut it off, and I look up, and I was like, oh,
they got me. They got
That's like
me.
the worst thing to be a meme for sure.
yeah. So we had some fun with it.
Did he, Jerry? You should tell Austin about your celebrity basketball appearances.
Stop.
You said you're not an athlete.
Stop. I'm not an athlete.
Dude, you got.
Austin does not want to hear that. He doesn't want to hear any of my celebrity all-star game performances. No, I love to play. I'm the dude who shows up at like the charity game, and I'm actually pretending like I'm in the NBA and playing hard. I'm slapping the floor. I go Russ. I go like Russ Westbrook. I go Russ.
The funny thing is he actually does. There's video of him like getting the crowd hyped, like talking to the guy. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Like, hey, it's never gonna happen for me. This is the closest I'm gonna get. I still play a decent amount of pickup. I tell you what, though, too, I'm obsessed with, shoes, obviously for style, but like shoes on the court. I gotta say, dude, I'm about to purchase. I'm about to purchase some of yours. Well, first question, number one. I love the look, but are you a part of the name process? Because the names are amazing. The names are dope of every shoe. How much are you a part of that, or is that someone behind the scenes? Because the names are great. When you look at the shoe, you're like, oh, I see that. I get that. Yeah. Especially the Valentine's Day one coming.
So I'm not creative enough to boil it down to a certain.
Right.
So my agent Reggie Berry, we actually are picking shoe names right now, which is funny. He'll send me a list of 5 to 7 or 5 to 3 names, and he's like, this is what I think is, fits, the line, the storyline, whatever. And I have to pick from the 5 to 7 or whatever they are. So, but like I said, I won't take credit for that, because if you was to be like, hey, name this shoe, I would just be like, I don't know.
So I pulled up. You got like Year of the Dragon.
That's my favorite. I might
Family
be purchasing
Ties.
Year of the Dragon.
So so are you aware of these names, or he just sends you the names and you just like the way they sound? And I love it's affordable. These shoes are fire, dude.
They're dope. They got great performance reviews too. You got great performance reviews on the shoe.
They've been ever since we signed with them, with Rigor, they've been nothing but great. Anything I need at any time, and then they've let us be hands-on with basically any process that we wanted to, like with the naming of the shoes, color waves. But yeah, no, the the names always have a some type of meaning behind them.
Can I pitch you something? Because I do love the Hillbilly Bogey shoe, right? It's
Yeah.
green. It's got some golf. It's got the bullseye. And we talked about golf. Could we put some spikes on that bad boy and take it out to the course?
They actually sent me they you know the crazy part, they sent me some spikes to that you can put into them,
Right.
and so I wore them really bullshit one day when I went and golf.
Tell me you went low.
Caught my best round ever.
Of course.
Not an ad right there. This is true.
I shot a 67 in my basketball shoes. No bogeys, 5 birdies. And it was incredible.
So it was the Hillbilly no bogeys.
Exactly.
What was it like when I can only imagine like having your own signature shoe is like, it's kind of like, dude, I made it, right? Like, what was it like when you found out that was all coming together for you?
Like you said, it was just special. You know, I like I said, was a huge Kobe fan, so I grew up wearing Kobe's, saw the Kobe's. And then, you know, just having that opportunity to have my own shoe, have the input on, you know, what, you know, even the price and how we can make it affordable for everybody, was really special. And, you know, just trying to build that, grow that. But like I said, when that opportunity, you know, presented itself, it was a no-brainer and something that, you know, we wanted to, you know, have fun with and be creative with.
We mentioned Hillbilly Bogey because obviously you got, you know, a great TikTok account, your YouTube channel. I've watched a lot of your stuff because I consume YouTube golf and golf content probably just as much as basketball these days.
I watch way more YouTube golf than I think anything else.
Yeah, it's just so addicting. It's the best on the plane. You're on way more planes than me. I'm sure you're probably downloading and watching. But now we're going to go current active players, not retired players. Who are you going to get on the channel? Who are you calling out? Is there somebody that you either want or could give you a good round? You said you're low 67. I'm sure most NBA players haven't put the time in to get to that level. Who do you want on the channel for a match?
I think the one is Steph.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to hope you were going to go. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I just know he's a good player.
I'd watch that. I wish that was dropping tomorrow. I'd watch that.
That's really it. I mean, I think that's there's a couple other guys.
Yeah, because Chris Paul good. I think Chris Paul can play, right?
I actually asked him the other day when we played San Antonio. He said he hadn't been able to play much this year, but Corey Kisper's good. Doug McDermott's good. No, Kyle.
I've heard Kyle Lowry's really good, which
Yeah.
he. I say this with all due respect. He's my least favorite player in the NBA because he just
he destroys the Knicks.
Yeah, he just kills. Well, I'm a Knicks fan, but also just like he just does all the things that you scream at he makes you scream at your television, which is only because he's a great player.
No,
so then when I hear he's good at golf too, I'm like, oh.
Austin,
man.
have you ever watched a game with a sporting, like a football game or something, or a basketball game with an avid fan of their team? Have you ever, like, I watched the game with Jerry. How was that experience for you? Because I can tell you how my experience was with Jerry.
It's chaos. It's literally chaos.
Isn't it so funny? Because I don't know if it's like being an athlete's weird, right? It's like, why do you care so much? Like, it's just so funny to me. He was like, we were doing something for the podcast this summer in New York, and was it the summer? No,
it was late spring. It was Knicks Pacers second
Knicks
round.
Pacers.
The game OG Anunoby pulled his hamstring. I remember
playoff game. We're doing like some upfronts for the show, and we're at this like little bar, and it's like, and I'm like a kid because I'm like, I can't wait. And by the way, we had courtside Knicks seats that night that he chose not to go to
because I would have missed the entire second quarter.
But watching him watch his team play. Honestly, dude, it was pure comedy. I was like, why do you get like that? Like, I didn't understand it. Yeah. And he doesn't understand my point of view.
For sure. No, it's definitely funny. It's chaos.
Yeah.
Listen, I imagine if I'm trying to put it in my terms, like if all right, we're gonna shoot this movie or this show, but you guys probably wouldn't even care about that. You guys have seen all the pressure. There's nothing I could say to shake you or make you care more. So I can't even put it into like acting terms or something to make you guys relate, but we care a lot, man. It's a good thing.
Y'all are the reason we do it. You know, the fans are great.
How do you like the Intuit Dome?
It was cool. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Which I mean, we do so focused on the game and stuff that you don't really get to see all the stuff that's in the
Right.
arena. You don't get to go walk around where the concession stands and all that stuff is. But I think the wall that they do is a good idea. It kind of
pretty sweet,
brings
yeah.
back that like college atmosphere vibe. So I thought it was a really, really cool arena.
Yeah, I went to a game there a couple weeks ago randomly. I'm a Laker fan, but I thought for me, just like an in-game experience as a casual fan, it was pretty awesome. Like it was cool. Like you get kind of with the laser shows and just the wall and like everything was state of the art. Is there we got, obviously there's some NFL fan bases. I always thought like this going up to Seattle was tough. Playing up in Philly is really tough. Nasty too. What's the, let's say worst fan base or like place you really like, man, like I just hate playing there? Is it the Garden or Boston? Is it New York? Is there a place that sticks out?
I mean Boston and New York, but I think that it's not. I think that the fan bases are like they're so passionate and like really know basketball to where it's like cool. Like you have some fan bases that are just chaotic that
Right.
don't really know the game, but those fan bases know the game, enjoy good basketball, and anytime you go Lakers Boston Staples / crypto, whatever you want to call it, is going to be going crazy. So I would say those two, and also Memphis gets hectic, which
Grindhouse, yeah.
so I mean, and it's also Memphis is an hour 30 from where I grew up, so
I feel like
anytime we go there, I probably know over 75 people there, so it's cool to play there.
I feel like they talk the most too.
They talk a lot,
Right?
Yeah.
God, I don't know. Maybe it's always like the games I end up watching, but I feel like they just talk the most.
I feel like every team talk though, right? Like I guess some are worse than others.
I think it was when they had was it Dylan Brooks? I think when he was on their team
Yeah.
or whatever, right? They
yeah.
just like, dude. I mean, I love it, but I'm just like, I feel like they're just always
they're competitors. They play
they're
hard
just always, yeah. No, they're a good team.
for sure.
So, are you gonna be our first two-sport athlete since Dion? Because you're gonna go pro in golf at some point, right? It's happening. At least go in the Creator Classic. You would have won that thing
I'm
easily,
definitely
man.
gonna try. I've always said it. I've said it since college that when the basketball does stop bouncing, I want to take a year and a half, 2 years, and give everything I got to golf. Because I've never had a lesson.
Wow.
I never practiced. I started playing when I was 16, so
You haven't been playing that long in your drive. I mean, I know 8 years,
That's incredible.
25. That's not that long for golf, man, to be shooting 67s.
I think golf is hard for anybody, but a lot of the things that I've talked to guys that play, are trying to compete in golf, a lot of the things that they talk about that is really hard for them kind of like come natural to me. I have very good hand-eye coordination. Chipping, putting not as much, but just getting up and down from bad spots is probably something I'm pretty good at, because when I started playing golf, I wasn't good at golf. So
You were in those bad spots a
so I
lot.
was always in bad spots. So I definitely want to give it a go.
I got faith. If I'm a betting man. I'm putting money that
I think Romo tried to do it right while he was still playing. I think he was the one current athlete, and I think he missed just by
a
couple of shots.
I think he missed he went to one of the major qualifiers, and I think he made like double on 18 to miss it by 1 or something.
That's got to be like I really like golf. I just don't play. I really like it. I got a nice set of clubs.
Lefty too, right? Lefty.
No, I'm a righty.
Oh, that's right. You're like the lefty
I golf
sometimes.
righty.
Right.
But like my biggest fear, I'm telling you, man, like just thinking about it, is like hitting in front of a gallery. It's like my biggest fear.
It's real.
Right?
I played in a YouTube like tournament, and there was probably 3,000-4,000 people there, and I was playing with Garrett Clark, which is
Yep.
probably like one of the biggest YouTube golfers. So he was my partner. So our little gallery we had was pretty big, and we go to the first tee, and I'm sitting there like, why am I so nervous? Like my hands shaking. Like, so I had already planned it out, like thought it out. So I didn't care who they told to tee off first. I was going to tee off first because I went and put my ball up before anybody was paying attention. So I teed it up because I knew I was going to be sitting there shaking trying to put it on the tee. And they lined down the tee box, and I'm just sitting there looking like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm not a professional golfer. Like, this is not. I'm nervous as right now, and turned out that was my best swing all day. I hit a fairway, but it's different for sure.
People don't understand. Like, you're right there. Like, if I was up in a gallery, I swear to God, I'm taking somebody out. Like, I'm taking somebody out, not on purpose.
Garrett
I
Clark
can't
did.
drive.
He blasted dude in the arm.
Dude.
So
It's-
you
it's-
saying that you can relate to a fan that gets excited about watching athletes do great things that they can't necessarily do. So because you guys played in front of thousands. If you total it all up, you're probably damn near 1 million people that you've played in front of live, right?
Yeah.
And you're nervous about that. So what I'm saying is chalk one up for the fans who start crying when OG Anunoby pulls his hamstring, like me.
Hey,
You guys
no,
care.
I won't lie to you. I'm a fan of Jordan Spieth. So
Yes. You get nervous, right?
anything that you've done watching the Knicks, I've probably yelled
With Jordan.
missing a putt or something. I'm a fan, so I get it.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the shoes which I'm purchasing, but Matt's rubbing it in my face because when we're having you on, we're excited to talk about Recover 180, and Matt's like, "Oh, I have some." I'm like, "Wait a minute,
Dude, I got a
didn't-
bunch. By the way, I didn't
get
even
none.
put
Why?
I didn't even put two and two together until I was like, oh, I drink this. Oh, it's great. I freaking love this stuff.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
tell us about it. Like, what are you doing with them?
Yeah, I mean, Lance come to us. This has probably been 2 years ago now, with the idea of partnering together and just trying to build something special.
Yeah.
And so at first we were like, cool, like I had never heard of it, so we were like, just send us some stuff, and we'll see where it goes from there. And then we just continued to stay in touch, and obviously the drinks are really good,
Yeah.
organic. So
Huge.
it was just something that like I said, I wanted to try to grow with a bunch of good people, and it's been nothing but great. I drink them after games, before games.
Does it fit in the golf cart cup holder?
It definitely does.
That's my
Yes.
big pet peeve when it don't fit in the golf
It's
cart
good-
cup
it
holder. It's
fits in
over.
the cooler, the cup holder, you can have them wherever.
Austin, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of the season. We're gonna let you go. And keep swinging. I know you're busy with basketball, but let's not forget about the little white ball that we like to knock
No,
around.
we should get a round in when Jerry comes out this way.
For
maybe in
sure.
the
Y'all,
off-season or
y'all let me
something.
know.
Yeah.
Y'all
All
let me know.
right.
All right,
Thank you, Austin.
Appreciate you, man.
No doubt.